Let's
welcome
see.
back to Coffee with Clover. Please help me welcome my next guest, Vidya Gopaul. Vidya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be in your show.
I'm happy to have you on to talk about your book, The Race of Time. Now, in this very book, you predicted some things years ago and it has come to pass. Tell us about it.
Yes. Well, it all started when I was in the undergraduate course in my University of Toronto. And I was taking a course of an undergraduate with graduate students. And it was dealing with the ethics of medicine. And in that one, there was dealing with all types of issues, ethical issues, specifically in the artificial insemination or conceiving babies, such as in vitro fertilization, test tube babies, and what have you. And while we're dealing with the issues, I said to them, to my professor, that if we continue with this project of conceiving babies, through artificial means, and if there's no fail-safe program, chances are there will be at times that one brother may end up marrying his own sister.
Wow, and you've seen that happening today.
Yes, you're right.
There are three folds to this book. What are those three folds? Can you, for the sake of our viewers, can you just break it down?
Yes, three folds are that, first one is, I always believe that we as in human nature, we try to outdo the process of nature. For example, this one, artificial insemination.
And that's the first fold.
First fold.
Okay.
And because of that, if we don't have a fail-safe, there's a very grave consequences.
Wow.
Yeah. As I mentioned in my novel, is that one brother ended up marrying his own sister.
What's the second?
Second one is once we take the initiative of using these methods or any other method, try to overdo the process of nature, make sure we have a fail-safe program. Why? Because we have to learn from mistake and never do it again.
Have you said anything to anyone prior to writing this book?
No, that was all in my mind.
All in your mind, you went ahead and you wrote it, and today everything's coming to pass.
Yes, yes.
Wow. What's the core message of the book, though?
The core message of the book is this. First of all, in any romantic relationship, and I emphasize any romantic relationship, I would advise, please find your birth parents.
Okay.
And just to elaborate, there's a culture out there who practices to find the birth parents, and they emphasize on finding the parents who have given birth to the children before they marry.
Especially those who have been adopted.
Exactly. Now, the second part message is that while I was writing this novel, I dawned to myself that same process can apply to adoption. And my advice to people who are adopting the children is to give all the information up front and tell them who the birth parents are, and for the adoptive parents to have the knowledge where the parents are.
Definitely. So you've traveled to 31 countries.
Yes.
And still counting.
Yes, counting.
Okay, and through your travels and to these different countries, have you seen the same things happening?
This issue of, one brother getting married to another sister is still a taboo. It's still in the background. Because when I was writing this book, nobody had the courage and conviction to write this book because it was very sensitive. I even sent a lot of manuscripts to the world publishers and rejected because it was not a mainstream stories.
Do you think they saw truth in your book?
Nowadays it is. Every other time that you see reading the papers, I have seen and read, and I have kept the clips of those news. One brother is marrying another sister.
Yeah, we've heard of stories of brothers meeting sisters, getting married, or before marriage they realize we're related.
Exactly. And all this happening because of that fail-safe program.
Wow. How do you think people can safeguard themselves?
I would say, like I said, be upfront. Because the parents knows this is not my child, it's somebody else's child. So please find the birth parents.
I was so glued to the book I couldn't put it down. But one thing I noticed as I go through, the son, once he set out to find his dad, for everyone that he meets trying to solve the problem, he was having coffee. And so it was actually a good thing to have coffee, because he was having coffee and doing the investigation.
Yeah. How appropriate with your program, Coffee with Clover.
Coffee with Clover, definitely. So then he eventually found his dad.
He did. But he found it at the last minute. And then realized that, gee, I'm marrying my own sister.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've given us the first and second fold. What's the third fold to
The
this
third
book?
fold, I always say it, human nature versus faith. Faith, I always describe it as something is predestined in our lives, and you cannot change it. And that's why I kept the name of my novel, Race the Time. A lot of my viewers said, why didn't you use the word race against the time? I didn't. We as a human nature, we always want to go faster than the time. And that's why we stumble. And that's the reason I said race the time, and my main character was racing time to find his father.
And he finally did.
He found it,
In
but
time.
race won over.
And yeah, it was too late.
Too late.
Still,
Yeah.
too late. So where can this book be found? Where can we get this book to buy?
Yes, this book can be found in places. One, ebay.com, amazon.com, and I have my own website called vidyagopal.com.
That's vidyagopal.com.
Yeah.
Very good book. I was so glued to the book, couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
I would encourage everyone to get their own copy.
Yes,
And
and I
you-
would encourage people to buy it, and it's very, very interesting, very intertwined stories. It's not straightforward.
because it's a reality.
It is reality.
It is happening today.
It is happening today.
Okay. So thank you, Vidya. Thank you for coming on and sharing your
Huh?
novel with us. I hope everyone will try to grab a copy. It's a very good book. The Race of Time by Vidya Gopal. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking with Wayne Williams.